Hey, I'm DRSCL. I'm a dad, a chiropractor, and the translator you didn't know you needed in this, the first year of parenting. This is Decoded, the first year, the podcast that turns baby brain confusion, mum burnout, and milestone panic into clarity you can actually use. Let's make sense of the chaos by decoding it together. Hey, welcome back to Decoded, the first year. I'm DRSCL, chiropractor, dad, and your nervous system translator. This is where we unpack baby development without the milestone panic or the just wait and see advice. Today we're looking at two mid-year milestones that parents commonly obsess over, that being sitting and crawling. So if you've been told, don't worry, some babies skip crawling, or you've heard that they should be sitting on their own by now, this episode will give you the nervous system lens that changes everything. Here's a big truth bomb. Crawling is one of the most important milestones for brain development, but it's the one people dismiss the most commonly. And it is built on the foundation of the previous 9 months of developmental movement patterns and neurological development. Why? Because you're going to hear plenty of stories about babies who went straight to walking and they turned out fine. The problem? Crawling is one of the biggest ways the brain wires the left and right hemispheres together. How does it achieve this? There are 2 stages of crawling. The immature 4-point crawl, which is commonly achieved around 9 months, and the more mature 2-point crawl from about 10 months onwards. Skipping these can mean missing a critical phase for coordination, spatial awareness, and even later learning skills. Crawling is a cross-lateral movement pattern. That's science nerd speak for the brain is coordinating both sides of the body, the spine is adapting and rotating, and the visual system is tracking movement and space. Without this, later skills, from balance to reading, can be heavily impacted. Now, sitting isn't just about plonking down. It's about core stability, the nervous system's ability to hold the body upright against gravity while freeing the arms for play, feeding, and exploring. At a minimum, we would want to see this demonstrated somewhere between 8 to 10 months. This is why supports such as bumbos are so detrimental in the long run. Anything which artificially or externally compensates for a lack of function will always have negative consequences. And remember, sitting is the very first time your baby goes vertical against gravity. This is massive from a developmental perspective. Sitting is a midline developmental movement pattern. In other words, it requires left and right, top and bottom to function simultaneously to achieve the desired outcome. So some of the most common patterns I see in the office where there are problems with these are the wobbly sitter. The baby sits but slumps or props heavily on the hands, often a sign of core weakness or nervous system instability, and this is commonly measured and assessed with reflexes called either the propping or parachute reflexes. The bunny hopper. The baby moves both legs together instead of an alternating crawling pattern. This without doubt will mean some form of asymmetry in the hips, pelvis, or sacrum. The one-way crawler. The baby always leads with the same leg or arm. This asymmetry is a signal of unbalanced muscle tone or particularly restricted spinal motion. And most commonly, and definitely most commonly overlooked and dismissed, is the bum shuffler. This is where the baby scoots along on their bum in a sitting position as opposed to the classic 4-point crawling position. Now again, these aren't bad or broken babies. These patterns are clues to where the system may need support. So the key is to ask yourself questions with a nervous system filter, such as, can my baby sit freely without support for long stretches? When they do crawl, are they using opposite arm and leg in a smooth rhythm? And do they transition easily between sitting, crawling, and back again? These questions will tell you more than any age chart ever will. Now, when I'm in the office, I'm looking for problems such as tension or misalignment in the pelvis or lower back, especially the sacrum area. This will then be linked directly to some form of irritation to the upper neck. I'll be looking for core instability linked to nervous system stress. And I'll be looking at movement patterns that show an uneven or asymmetrical development. It's the gentle chiropractic adjustments that will help restore ease in movement so that babies want to sit, crawl, and ultimately explore. If you've been told skipping crawling is fine, now you know why I politely disagree. These milestones matter not just for the body, but most importantly for the brain. Look, if this episode clicked for you, please send it to another parent watching their baby do the bum shuffle. And come hang out with me on Instagram at Mount Hawthorn Chiropractic for more baby brain decoding. Until next time, Dr. SCL, out. Thanks for listening to Decoded, the first year, where we translate the mess of early parenting into something that actually makes sense. Be sure to share this episode with a friend, a partner, or a mum that you know who is quietly struggling through the noise and secretly Googling every milestone. If you want to hear more decoding, follow at Mount Hawthorn Chiropractic on the socials. Let's keep decoding the chaos. No mansplaining, no pressure, no judgment, just clarity when you need it most. Please note, this podcast isn't medical advice. It's just smart strategies from a Gonstead chiropractor, a dad, and someone who's been in the room with hundreds of mums trying to make sense of their baby's development, their own postpartum recovery, and the constant noise that comes with modern parenting. Always chat with your health team for specific care.